Hi, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a pie crust. And I'm not one that ever made pie crust. I've made a few, and gee whiz, they look like something you'd see in outer space. Weren't too pretty. But I was kind of roaming around YouTube, and I came across this website called Nana's Cookery. And that's all she does is bake. And she did this pie crust and said it was so easy she taught it to grade school kids. So I thought, well, now if they can do it, I can. So I went ahead and measured some of this. I actually put the 2 tablespoons in the bowl. But this is all-purpose flour, and it's a cup plus 2 tablespoons of flour. So we're going to try her recipe together here. And into that, she put, where's my teaspoons? She put a ½ teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to do that. She said regular table salt would do fine. So here's my ½ teaspoon. And she kind of stirred that up together with a fork. Actually, she did the whole thing with a fork. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to test this recipe together. ½ teaspoon of salt, a cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Then she added 1/3 cup of canola oil, and she said that's what she recommended. And that's what I'm going to use. And she said she preferred canola oil. I looked on my canola oil bottle, and there's nothing but canola oil in there. I didn't see any GMOs or anything. So she said mix this together, but don't overmix. She said as long as you get most of it incorporated, you're going to be okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're following her recipe to a T. You ought to check out her website. She's got some good recipes on there. Alright, that's enough. Now she said when you get to this point, she said maybe you'll see some more flour, but that's okay. Alright, we're going to leave it at that. Then you add 2 tablespoons of ice water. I got my ice water right here. And here's my tablespoon measurer. Gonna add that in. And she said mix it up. She said there was no reason to chill this or anything. You just mix it up and roll it out and put it in your pie plate. So that's exactly what we're going to do. She also said don't worry if it looks marbled. Just get it mixed. Alright. And one thing she did stress is do not overmix. So we're not going to overmix. Got this out. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. Take it. My hands are clean now. And so are my countertops. I always work with clean hands, and I know you know that. So she took it out like this and made a little ball out of it. And I just happen to have her next product of choice, which is wax paper. She said, put it down on wax paper. You don't need any flour or anything. Put it in the middle. Put another sheet of wax paper on top of it. I'm going to back off just a little bit. And she said start rolling. Roll from the middle out. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Can you see me? Yeah. She said, I don't know how everything you see on TV seem to turn out perfectly round. She said, mine never do. Well, that's good because I know this one's not going to. But we're going to give it a try. Because, you know, there's certain pies I really like. I love, my absolute favorite pie is sour cherry. And one of these days, I did make a coffee cake with sour cherries in it, sour and sweet. And one of these days I'm going to make a sour cherry pie, but not this time. This time we're just going to conquer the crust. And listen, you guys, if I can do this, you can do it. So we're just working with this pie crust, just rolling it out. She said let the rolling pin decide how thin it's going to be. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. She also said don't worry about the wrinkles you might get in it from the excuse me, from the wax paper. Then she said just test your there we go. Test your pie plate and just make sure that that is going to be bigger than your pie. And it is. So far, we're batting 1,000. All right. So here's my pie crust. A little bit went on the counter, but that's okay because it'll come up. Now, this is what she said do. Hold it just a second here. Hold your horses, gang. We're going to take our pie plate. I don't know what size this is. Let's see. I don't think it matters. I guess you just have to roll it out to the size that you need. It's got to say on here somewhere. Well, we're not going to worry about it. Anyway, she said take your pie plate and lay it down. And then just take your dough and lay it on top of your pie plate. Get it centered. And then start peeling back the paper. Now she did say not to ever stretch your pie dough. She said because it'll shrink right back where it was when it cooks. And she did say that the pie dough will stick to the paper in some places. And she said just peel it back. Of course, I didn't expect it to be so soon. She said just peel it back. And as you do, push the pie crust away from it. So that's what I'm going to do here. Come on. She said this was a very flaky pie crust, and you know, I tried another one, and this has been several years ago, that was made with oil, and oh my gosh, it was terrible. All I could taste was the oil. It was not good at all. So I was hesitant, but this lady is a baker. See, once you get it started, it should be okay. But if you come across different little spots that want to stick, you just keep rolling your paper out, your wax paper, and just bring it to the end and pull the dough away from the wax paper as you pull it back. She said sit your pie dough down in there, but don't stretch. Don't worry about any spots that aren't filled in. I'm going to show you how to fix that. And you take what's left and you just tuck it under. See, right here, right here. I'm not going to have to cut any of this off because obviously, well, maybe right here I'll take some of it off. I'm going to put it back on the wax paper because I'm going to show you how to fix the boo-boos. You just start tucking this under. I don't know, this may be my reform recipe here that I can start making pies. We shall see. Anyway, of course she was a lot quicker with this than I am. She just came around and tucked it all in, around and around. This is probably how it should be, right here. Alright, we're working our way around. Boy, that lady, I mean, you could tell she knew how to bake. Alright, we're getting right here where I didn't have enough. She said take some extra dough, roll it between your hands, which is what I'm doing here. And she said tack it on. Just tack it on, so that's what I'm doing. And of course I'm getting right here where I really was short. So we're going to do the same thing. Roll it in my hands. Mine doesn't seem to roll as good as hers did, but you know, this is my first time making her dough. She said just tack it on. Got some more over here, thank goodness. Because I got a big spot right here. And we're just going to put it in place here, tack it on. Alright, I didn't quite have enough dough left over like she did to patch up all my little spots. Then she showed me how to flute the top of the pie. I'm going to start over here where I have plenty. And it's just like this. That's it. This finger goes in the last depression and the finger and the thumb. Start the next one. So, around we go. My gosh, this is easier than I thought. There we go. Well, we're about 2/3 around this pie. This is where I run a little short here. Whoops. But we're just going to keep flipping and doing what she said. I'm a little short here on this side. I'm sorry, but you can see how easy this was. I did everything to her specifications. Oh no. Oh no, we're not going to let that happen. Alright, come on. Now mind you, hers was beautiful, but She's been baking all her life. My specialty was cakes. Hers seemed to be everything. Most bakers aren't cookers, you know, and most cookers aren't bakers. So, you have to take a choice. But you know what? For my first time, that is not bad. Look at that. Now, she said if you were going to put something in it right now, not to prick the bottom. But if you weren't, if it was going to be a custard or something, to go ahead and prick the bottom of the pie. So I'm going to do that. Alright, I'm putting this into a preheated 425 degree oven on the lower half of the oven. I'm not on the very bottom, but you know, one up. I'm going to put it in there for about 10 minutes and I'll bring you back when I take it out. Oh, and another thing is she said peek in about halfway through, and if there's any spots that have bubbled out, she said you take care of them right then. Just go ahead and ease them back, because if you don't, they're going to be there when you put your filling in. So here we go. Going in the oven. 425 degrees. 10 minutes. I can throw away my wax paper, which is so cheap now. Didn't make a mess on my counter. You know, full of flour and all. It's just peachy. So I'll see you back in about 10 minutes. I'll let you know what happened in between times. All I can say is woohoo. I left mine in there about 12 minutes because it wasn't brown enough for me. I like mine a little bit browner, but this is perfect right here. And it is flaky. Of course, some of it came off when I took it out of the oven right here. So I couldn't resist tasting it. It's delicious. So all of you out there that are afraid to make a pie crust, you just saw me make it for the first time with using that lady's recipe. Let me turn it around so you get a better view, because part of it's pretty. Next time I'll know to roll it out better. And you got that? Using Nana's Cookery's recipe. If you want to see her do it, which is going to be a little more professional looking, but I think I did a pretty darn good job for my first time, and I'm very pleased with the way this tastes and the way it looks. I'll just roll it out bigger next time. I forgot about having to go down in the pie. But it looks wonderful. It was easy to do, easy to mix. And I'm so proud of myself. So I want to thank you all for coming into my kitchen again and spending just a small part of your day with me. Until next time, take care.